good folks over at Jackson State can now put to rest the conversations that was put out there about AD/Vice President Ashley Robinson, who was possibly considering taking a position over at Prairie View A&M. Well, guys, we're going to talk about why it means so much that AD/VP Ashley Robinson is staying at Jackson State University and why it means so much more that T.C. Taylor was named as the new head football coach. We're going to talk about it right after this. You know it's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow League Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And tap in the friend or two and tell them to come on in. It's never positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on in this thing and get straight to it. Because I'm really like, Coach, what you got brewing over there now? What you talking about? AD Ashley Robinson and T.C. Taylor? Abso-freaking-lutely. We're going to talk about these two young men as far as what we can expect, especially now that AD/Vice President Ashley Robinson and the new head football coach of the Jackson State Tigers. We're going to get into why this means so much, because I know one thing for certain, many can say is that, you know, when former head coach Deion Sanders, everyone, you know, as far as the Jackson State faithful, on their toes all the time trying to figure out, is he going to leave? Is he going to stay? What exactly is he going to do? What's going to be the next move as far as what the head coach is looking to do? And I'm sure beyond a shadow of a doubt, when it comes to the rumblings that came up about AD/Vice President Ashley Robinson possibly leaving for the Prairie View A&M AD/Vice President job, everybody's looking like, all right, here we go again. What's really going on? And I can imagine what some of these folks, I can imagine what some of you out there were thinking, because, when storms come, you're trying to figure out, okay, what's next? The bottom is falling out this thing. What's going to happen next? But you know what? The storm is over. VP/AD Ashley Robinson decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to stand firm right here with Jackson State University. I'm going to stand 10 toes down with this program that he's been there building over the 5+ years now, getting everything in order, getting the necessary coaches needed into the program so that the program could continue to keep building. But you know what? After head coach Deion Sanders decided to leave, everyone's wondering who's going to be their next head coach. And I'm sure a lot of folks out there were looking for that big name individual to come in there and shake up some things over there at Jackson State University, getting them back to the promised land as far as with playing in that Celebration Bowl and playing in the SWAC championship game. But the crazy thing about it was that one man that they needed for that position was standing right there in the program, which many of you out there that's looking at this right now knew who that man was, knew exactly what that man could do. Because you got to understand, when uncertainty happens, you always trying to figure out, okay, what's my next move? And sometimes you just have to stand pat and understand, you know what? I don't need to make a move. The move that needs to be made is already right here. I ain't got to go far to reach out and say, hey, come on in here, brother. Come on in here, sister. We need you right now to go ahead and move this thing forward. And guess what? That's exactly what he is going to do with this program, because you got to understand, when you have a coach that has dealt with adversity in the manner in which head coach T.C. Taylor has dealt with adversity. Remember, he played for Jackson State. This young man was a quarterback at Jackson State, in which he moved over to the wide receiver position. They wanted to bring someone else in to play that quarterback position, and you know what? He moved on without it being any issues. How many times have you seen athletes out there getting their feelings, or just get to, acting crazy, acting out, doing things that are just totally unnecessary, that disrupt the chemistry of the team? Not T.C. Taylor. T.C. Taylor said, you know what? I want to be on this field. I understand exactly the positions that, what they do out there in the field, because guess what? He's the quarterback. He understands what the wide receivers doing. He understands what the running backs is doing. And from what I've been reading, they stated that he was a straight up athlete. This young man, in one season, having moved from the quarterback position, in his final season, 1,200 yards in receiving, getting third team NCAA, 1-2A, third team All-American honors. Not to mention, he also got first team Black College All-American honors as well. The reason why I'm saying that head coach T.C. Taylor is the perfect fit for the Jackson State Tigers football program, because not only has he dealt with adversity, but he's coached at multiple locations, in which, if you really dig into where he's coached at Texas Southern. He coached at Oklahoma University. If I mispronounced that, please forgive me. Also, he coached at North Carolina Central University, in which he won 3 titles there and got them, his offense, got them into the Celebration Bowl, which has been something that Jackson State has not been able to win over the past couple of years. Yes, they fared, they've had some issues as far as with getting things in order when it comes down to, the first season, they had the rough patch with South Carolina State. Last year was a thriller that they lost to North Carolina Central, which was the team that he coached for years ago. He understands exactly the type of play that the MEAC comes with. They come with the smash mouth type of play. Not saying that Jackson State or any SWAC team doesn't come with that style of play, but you got to understand, they're coming out there with a hard hat, lunch pail type mentality that they're coming out there to come to play smash mouth ball and get after it. Like as soon as the first kickoff go, they're getting after it. And that's something that I believe TC Taylor and the coaching staff over Jackson State this upcoming year is definitely looking to bring to that program to make sure that they get back to that Celebration Bowl. They're going to get over the hump. That's exactly what they're looking to do. It's no more we're going to play and say, hey, we're here. No, we're going to focus, hunker down, and do what we need to do and get ourselves over that hump. And that's exactly what I believe that TC Taylor and their coaching staff is going to bring into the Jackson State Tigers football program. Not only that, like I said, when you have someone there that in that program that's from the state of Mississippi, that love to be where they are, that is something that's beautiful as well. Not to mention, you got to understand, with all of the different stops that he had, he was able to get out there and recruit athletes into the program that was going to allow him to coach them up, get them out there, do the things necessary for them to get out there and win ball games. Heck, while he was over at Oklahoma Community College, he had one of the top offenses in Mississippi. I think they was ranked like 6th. And not only that, but while he was over at North Carolina Central, they had another top offense as well. So him being the quarterback coach / offensive coordinator, you got to give TC Taylor his props as far as what all he's able to do out there on that field. Yes, a lot of times it might not be as glaring as many of us would love for it to be, but understand one thing: when you got those Army Swiss knives in your coaching staff that's able to do things that need to be done at a particular time to make sure things continue to keep moving forward, you got a phenomenon that's going on that people are going to sit back and say, wait a minute, where in the world did this come from? And understanding that head coach TC Taylor is going to be so meticulous as far as making sure he pays attention to the details of everything that needs to be done for that Jackson State Tigers football team to continue to keep moving forward. When I sit and I look at what all A.D. Robinson has been able to do, especially with all of the different hires that they've brought into Jackson State, I mean, women's head coach Tamika Reed, you got Mo Williams that's there now, and now you got head coach T.C. Taylor. We cannot forget about the previous head coach, Deion Sanders, who's now over at Colorado, who he brought into the Jackson State Tigers football program as well, that came in there and started building this thing up in the manner in which they needed for it to do. And look how the car is moving now. Like I said, Jackson State is moving at a light speed right now. That a lot of folks sitting back like, man, they ain't going to do much of nothing this year because they ain't got all of the hype around it. Sometimes you don't need the hype. You just need the people that's going to come in there and push the cart forward. Everybody's going to roll their sleeves up and go to work. Not saying anyone didn't do that while they were there, but I'm just stating the obvious that sometimes a little bit is enough. That's all I'm saying. But when you look back at what Vice President A.D. Ashley Robinson was able to do over at Prairie View A&M, he hired Willie Simmons, who is now the head football coach over at FAMU University. He hired Coach Dooley, who is now the head football coach over at Southern University. I mean, think about it. A.D. Ashley Robinson has an eye for talent as far as those that can come in and produce immediately. That's going to get the maximum effort out of the athletes that they have within the program. And if they don't have those athletes, they have the ability to get out there and recruit athletes to bring them into the program that's going to have that program become successful. Not only that, but I mean, I believe he was a part of the locker room and the facilities upgrades over there at Prairie View A&M as well. If I'm incorrect, please let me know. But just looking at a lot of things that have been going on as far as the SWAC and things that, the upgrades just happening now. I mean, you got A.D. Sykes over at FAMU, she's getting her feet wet now, trying to get things moving in the right direction. I mean, guys, you're going to hear me talk about a lot of individuals that are looking to make moves and make things better within these HBCU walls. And that's something that you got to stand up and give them a round of applause. The hiring of head coach T.C. Taylor is going to be special because, as I stated before, these are individuals that want to be there. They want to stay within the program to help the program continue to keep growing. And like I said, sometimes you have to wade the waters to understand exactly what's going on. I'm sure T.C. Taylor is just waiting to really show and prove to everyone exactly what he's capable of doing. Because guess what? This man could have been a head coach somewhere else. And I'm sure he had an opportunity to become the head coach over at Jackson State previously, and it didn't fall the way that it needed to fall. But you know what? Sometimes sometimes that breakthrough comes at the most craziest time, and the time is now for head coach T.C. Taylor to continue to keep moving this program forward. And that is something that I believe he's going to do. But you know what? When I sat down and I looked at an overview of AD/Vice President Ashley Robinson, as far as just to get a general understanding of the type of individual that he is, because being out there on the sidelines, watching, just watching everything that's going on during a game, during a football game, I would watch AD Robinson, and the coaching staff and everybody that's out there, for Jackson State, watch how they move. I'm a people watcher. I like to sit back and watch how things go. And I was watching just how AD Robinson, he'll be on the sideline and then he'll move to the back of the end zone. And, while he's standing there talking to individuals, he's still in tune. He's in tune to everything that's going on within the stadium. As far as, I guess, from a mindset, me personally, I just sat there and I watched him. I'm like, man, I wonder what is he thinking about? I wonder if he's thinking about the patrons' experience as far as coming to a Jackson State Tigers football game, or, what exactly could they do more, within the stadium to get, the crowd more hyped and things of that nature. It's just a lot of different things just going on because, he'll stand back there like this, boy, and he's sitting there, he's just watching. He's just watching. And he hear you talking in his ear and he just stand there, he just watching like, yeah, And and the craziest thing is he's answering your questions while you asking him. And he's just still standing there with that look, just like, okay, yeah. Just watching everything that's going on. And not only that, but I had the opportunity to speak with him at the SWAC Media Day last year, in which he gave me a couple of minutes of his time. And, just having that brief conversation with him helped me understand that he's the type of individual that loves to build relationships with people, being able to get out there, shake hands, kiss babies, and make everybody feel good. Let them know, hey, listen, these are the things that we're looking to do. Now, everybody's not going to agree with how he may do certain things, and that's fine because no one's going to always agree with anybody 100% of the time as far as how they move. But looking at what he's been able to do, get the coaches. I think it was last year that all of the coaches got, earlier this year, everyone, the coaches got Cadillacs to ride. So I'm like, man, you're looking good, riding good, feeling good. I'm like, what we doing over there at Jackson State? Just looking at those type of things where you're able to pour back into your coaches and let them know that they are appreciated. That's the type of individual that you want to have at the helm that's going to continue to keep leading you in the direction of where you want to go. It ain't about the trinkets and the toys and things of that nature. It's about the person that understands that people matter. And that's something that I believe that AD/Vice President Ashley Robinson understands, because you got to remember, all of the coaches that he's bringing into the program that may have been there or now may have gone, they've all been competitors. And guess what? Ashley Robinson is a competitor himself. If you didn't know, now you're going to know. He was a point guard over at Mississippi Valley State University, in which he holds a career record in assists. Matter of fact, he set a single season assist record as well. And for someone to do something like that, you got to understand they're a leader out there on the court. You got to have that vision. That's something that I believe he has, is the vision. He has the vision he saw in which he needed to bring in head coach Tamika Reed, Mo Williams, Deion Sanders, and now T.C. Taylor. And now we're looking at what's next for Jackson State. You see everybody is honing in on exactly what's going on. They see the vision as far as with what AD Ashley Robinson is looking to do with that program. And guess what, guys? It's going to be sky's the limit. And I'm sure he got some goals out there that he has set for the Jackson State Tigers football program. Not necessarily the Jackson State Tigers football program, but for the sporting program itself, that's going to go to higher heights. I'm loving what I'm seeing with all of these ADs, these new ADs and vice presidents that are coming into these HBCUs. I want to salute them all, but this one here, I had to talk about AD Ashley Robinson and the new head coach, TC Taylor over at Jackson State University. Salute to both of you guys, and definitely looking forward to seeing exactly how high this Jackson State sporting program goes from today here on out, as long as AD/Vice President Ashley Robinson is at the helm. But guys, Coach gonna go ahead and get up on out this thing. But until next time, be the one and lead.